Hey there, welcome back to the Life Skills Hub and our Crack the Code, Communication Made Easy series, where we break down the secrets to talking and listening like a pro. Today, we're flipping the script and asking a tough question. Are you even listening? Because let's be real, we all like to think we're good listeners. But in reality, most of us are guilty of some seriously poor listening habits. And yep, I'm talking about you too. Don't worry, me included. Let's uncover the 10 most common poor listening styles, figure out which one you are, or maybe a mix, and learn why these bad habits are messing with your communication and even your relationships. Before we jump into the list, why is this even important? Because how you listen literally affects how people see you, how strong your friendships and relationships are, how well you do in school, and how much peace you have in your life. Poor listening equals more drama, confusion, and arguments. Better listening equals better vibes, less stress, and more connection. So let's decode the poor listening types and see which one hits too close to home. Let's start with the daydreamer. This is the person who zones out mid-convo. They aren't paying attention and their mind is wandering. You're physically there, but your brain's at the beach, thinking about lunch or a TikTok trend. You nod, but if someone asked what they just said, crickets. This habit is very common. Most of us do this one from time to time. However, if you do it too often, you may be judged as someone who doesn't pay attention. This can contribute to communication breakdowns, where important information or details are overlooked and the flow of conversation is disrupted, leading to confusion and frustration on both sides. Question: be honest. Have you ever zoned out mid-convo and hoped no one would notice? Number 2 is the pretender or the faker. This one's a pro at fake listening. You nod, you say, you even smile, but you're totally not absorbing a thing. You're pretending to listen so you don't seem rude. Spoiler, it's still rude. People can tell you're not listening, and it makes them feel like you don't care. It can also lead to frustration and a breakdown in trust. Number 3 is the selective listener. You focus only on certain parts of the message that align with your own interests, preferences, or preconceived notions. You only hear what you want to hear. The second the conversation doesn't apply to you, you mentally mute it. You may pay close attention to individuals you find interesting or influential while ignoring or discounting the contributions of others. This can make people feel ignored or unimportant, especially in friendships or relationships. Number 4, the word-only listener. You are actually paying attention and hear the words, but you miss the tone, body language, or emotion. Remember, good communication involves not only the spoken words, but also the nonverbal cues. This bad listening habit has really become an issue with virtual communications. Someone says, "I'm fine," and you take it literally, when they're clearly not. You miss context and you miss connection. The 5th poor listening habit is the one-upper, aka the self-centered listener. This person listens just to talk about themselves. You prioritize your own experiences and concerns, often at the expense of truly understanding or empathizing with the speaker's message. This bad habit usually ends up in a one-upmanship, where now you and the speaker try to one-up each other as if it's a competition. You say you had a rough day. They say, "Well, my day was even worse." Always turning the convo back to yourself. You're not listening, and that's not cool. Number 6, the defensive listener. It's when you listen with a heightened sensitivity to perceived criticism or a tendency to interpret incoming information as a personal attack. They take everything personally. You give feedback, and they hear it as an attack. They often take comments or feedback personally, interpreting them as an attack on their character, abilities, or decisions. With this attack, they deflect blame or counterattack. You say, "Hey, can you help out more?" They hear you're lazy. Defensive listening makes convos exhausting. Defensive listening can lead to closed-mindedness, where individuals become resistant to new ideas or perspectives that challenge their existing beliefs. Number 7 is the distracted listener. Scrolling, snacking, snapping. This listener is always multitasking and never fully present. The speaker knows you're checked out, and it's a vibe killer. It says, "You're not important enough for my full attention." Yikes. The 8th poor listening style is the interrupter. While someone is talking, you cut them off every time. Why? Because you're not listening to understand, you're waiting to talk. You cut people off before they're done. Oh, that reminds me. It's like stealing their turn. They'll feel ignored and super annoyed. Interrupting is disrespectful and leads to disconnection. Number 9, the judger. You're too busy deciding if they're right or wrong to really hear them. They start talking and you've already decided what you think about them. You don't ask questions, you assume. Your friend's into a new game and you're like, "That's boring." They'll shut down faster than a dead phone. Last but not least is the fixer. Someone shares a problem and instead of listening, you jump in with advice. Sometimes people just want to be heard, not fixed. Fixers mean well, but they can make people feel unheard or rushed. So, which one are you? Maybe you saw yourself in 1, 3, or all 10. That's okay. The goal isn't to feel bad, it's to get better. Being aware is the first step to improving your communication and making people actually feel heard when they talk to you. Because the better we listen, the better we connect, and the better life gets. Seriously. Poor listening styles break down trust, create more arguments, ruin friendships, make people feel unimportant, and lead to more stress. Good listening builds strong relationships, helps you get along with parents, friends, teachers, teammates, and makes you feel more understood too. Listening is a skill, and you can learn it like any other. Alright fam, that's it for today's episode of Crack the Code, Communication Made Easy. Drop a comment. Which poor listening style have you been guilty of? And what's one thing you'll do differently this week? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss the next episode where we dive into why communication matters in all parts of your life. Catch you next time.